This is a scripture that I've been thinking about for a little bit. So I just thought I'd read it and kind of pick it apart with you guys a little, for a short period of time to kick us off. So I'm looking at Matthew 14. And so Matthew 14 starts off with John the Baptist getting killed. So King Herod executes essentially John the Baptist. And then we're going to pick up in verse 13. And John the Baptist and Jesus were cousins. John the Baptist baptized Jesus. He was the one who went out to prepare the way for the Messiah, for Jesus. He had said, Jesus is someone whose sandals I'm unfit to tie. There was a special bond there between John the Baptist and Jesus. And so in verse 13, again, just got done talking about the beheading of John the Baptist. And it said, when Jesus heard what happened, he withdrew by boat privately to a solitary place. And so I'm sure it doesn't say it in the text, but my initial thought is he needed to be alone, right? He needed to process this. He needed to grieve. He just needed to deal with it, right? And we all have those things that pop up in our lives. And then hearing this, that he got into a boat privately and went to a solitary place. Hearing this, the crowds followed him on foot from the towns. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them and healed their sick. And so this is kind of a side note, but I want to be more like Jesus, because if it was me and I landed and I had this idea of, okay, I'm going to go to this solitary place and do this really good, healthy thing and mourn and process this hard thing that I just heard about. And then there's a bunch of people that interrupt my plans, right? I am not first to just jump to compassion and just keep going, right? Like, can I get a day off? Can I, like that is just our human flesh. And I think most of us can relate to that, right? Part of our humanity. But Jesus just jumped in. And then basically it got late, right? So his disciples came and said, hey, it's getting late. We need to, and this is a really remote place. We need to send all these people away so they go into town and get something to eat. And Jesus says, they don't need to go away. You give them something to eat. I'm like, what? We only have like 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And Jesus says, bring them here to me. And he said, and he directed the people to sit down on the grass, taking the 5 loaves and the 2 fish.
Well, they have church before.
Looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. Then he gave them to the disciples, and the disciples gave them to the people.
Really?
So they feed all 5,000 people.
It's a Christian organization.
Well, 5,000 men. So it's not counting the women and children. So some people say there's 20,000 people there. Who knows? 5, 10, 20,000. It's a lot of people, right? Immediately after that, Jesus made the disciples, made them get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side while he dismissed the crowd. So he said, you guys go, get in the boat, go to the other side. I'm going to dismiss the crowd. Then after that, he went up to the mountain and had his alone time, right? Prayed. He was there alone. So the disciples are in this boat. All right. And this is what struck me. I've read through this several times. I've heard people teach on it, and there's lots that you can pull out of this, but the disciples are in this boat and they just got done experiencing this really miraculous thing, right? With a small amount of food, they fed 10, 20,000 people, however many it is, but they also had to be really tired, right? Like, I don't know how much effort it takes to go around with baskets and feed that many people, but it was probably a fair amount of effort. And this is after a day, right? So they had all day healing and doing this stuff. And then, so they're probably tired. And then what happens? There's a storm that comes up, and it says the waves are buffering the boat. So the waves are crashing into the boat violently, right? And he said they're rowing against the wind. So they've had a day. They're tired from ministering. They're tired from seeing this. And then they have to row against the wind. And who knows? But I'm like, they're probably taking turns like, all right, who's next, right? They're just rowing all night. And it says this is where Jesus walks out on the water, right? And he walks out like almost daybreak. So they're rowing all night on this lake. So they're tired. Jesus walks in water. Peter comes out. All this stuff happens. And then in verse 32, it says, Jesus and Peter climbed into the boat and the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshiped him, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." When they had crossed over, they landed at this place. And when the men of that place recognized Jesus, they sent word to all the surrounding country. People brought their sick to him, and they begged them to just let him touch his garments, right? So they're rowing all night. They land, and they have to get right back to work. And so I don't know if you guys get tired. I'm assuming you do, right? I get tired. And my go-to is, it's been a day. So I have earned the right to sit on the couch and scroll on my phone or maybe watch something on Netflix. And I'm not saying that's bad, right? But what I'm saying is I'm not sure that restores our soul. And I want to be more like Jesus and the practices of Jesus. I want to be part of my life. And so what did Jesus do, right? He sought out silence and solitude. The disciples worshiped in the middle of this really tiring thing, right? And so it's important to remember silence, solitude, just connecting with our source of strength, right? But then that's one side of the coin. The other side of the coin is sometimes you just push through, right? You keep going. And the other thing that I think is interesting out of this passage is Jesus asked for help. He didn't feed all the disciples. He could have just had those baskets magically float around. I don't know, but he had the disciples help him do this good work. So I heard a couple people this morning say, I'm tired, or I didn't sleep well last night. So in this good work that we get to do at Habitat, demonstrating the love of Jesus, being the hands and feet of Jesus, bringing people together to help and serve gets tiring, right? Even outside of work, just life gets tiring. So we're going to continue to stay tired. And I'm talking to myself here. We're going to continue to stay tired if we're trying to push through in our own strength, right? So we have a source of strength that I want us to all tap into and just be reminded and encouraged of that today. Jesus got tired. The disciples got tired. It's okay to be tired, but we have a source of strength that we need to tap into. So let's pray. Heavenly Father, we are thankful for your son, Jesus. We're thankful for your teachings and your ways, Jesus. You say that your yoke is easy and your burden is light. And so we need to follow you. And the scripture tells us, do not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time, we will reap a harvest, and you will do that work. And Lord, we know that you're going to do the work, and we just need to be obedient and be the hands and feet. But Lord, we get tired. And so we just pray that you will continue to strengthen us and to continue to energize us, inspire us to do the good work that you have prepared in advance for us to do. And we want you to get all the praise and glory for it. In Jesus' name, amen. Software update. Yeah. Oh, wait, maybe I can. No. Is that next? Okay. All right.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I want to give a special thank you to Brian Biedenbach here with Summit City Studios. I had the pleasure of meeting Brian. He's a podcast expert, but understands the value in making sure we can leverage technology appropriately to make sure our message lands and our communities build and we can be more effective together. So he partnered with us and Danielle to upgrade this experience with our quarterly to make sure that everybody gets the message that we're trying to deliver. A few of you reached out to me last time and said audio was cutting out. It was distracting. I logged off. I'm sorry. I'll catch up later. And that's on us. So I just want to let you know we took some steps to make today a little bit more enjoyable for you. So we'll continue to work through this. My favorite part of our quarterlies, right? Everything that we do here organizationally is founded on our 5 core values. And, we got some things going on here. All right. And so we define these things as non-negotiables for our organization. So we look to bring people into our team that demonstrate these core values. They're not aspirational, right? They're non-negotiable. We want to make sure that we bring a community of like-minded individuals together. So we hire, we reward, we recognize, and we separate around these core values. And we define faithful as doing the right thing. We never compromise. Sustainable, we rigorously defend our resources. And this is both the relationships that we have. We want to protect those relationships, but also the financial resources that we need to do the good work that we do here at Habitat. We're thoughtful, we're intentional, and carefully consider the interests of others. We've modified this definition to be more in line with what we truly mean. We used to say we sweat the details, but that wasn't really all encompassing. We always consider the interests of others in the relationships we enter into. We're collaborative. We view this as our unique multiplier. We've talked about the goal that we have to accomplish together is too large to do in isolation. We need to work better together internally and better externally with our community partners. And transformational, we dream big and we strive for continuous improvement. That last part is modified slightly as we continue to evolve. These definitions evolve a little bit more so that we get a little bit more clear picture of what we're actually talking about. So you guys have nominated individuals on our team that have demonstrated these core values, and we're going to start with faithful. And Lauren McCammon was nominated by Jeremy McClish, but she's been nominated by everybody that's had an opportunity to work with her, from our partner families to our title insurance carriers, getting mortgages ready. She's faithful. She never compromises. She never takes shortcuts. Um, I would say our effort to stay in front of our families and really love them well has been dramatically different in the short time you've been with us. And K-Dog, you're a part of that too. I saw you walk in. And that's the heart and soul of our organization. And you guys get the beautiful interactions with our families, but you guys also get into the trenches as well. And so Jeremy specifically wanted to highlight Lauren for a recent partner deselection. No one likes this to happen, right? We want a true partnership, but at some point we have to say it's not the right time, it's not the right fit. And I'm not going to go into the details, but the way in which Lauren separated with this partner family had so much grace and so much compassion that I know that relationship will be preserved and hopefully we'll have an opportunity to work together. But even if we don't, what she demonstrated in that separation is faithfulness and what we all strive to do. So Lauren, you're going to get a little bit of a bump on your next paycheck. And thank you for representing us so well. The next one is sustainable. Danielle Goodrich, nominated by Jeff Friedemeyer, nominated by the development team, nominated by Restore staff, nominated by our Can Shed guys, everybody. Danielle, you've been just such a joy to, be on our team, and you've made an instant impact. And when we talk about rigorously defending our resources, it's our message, right? It's the way we connect with individuals. It's the way that we represent our organization. And out of all the things I just mentioned, the Can Sheds is a perfect example. She has painted with the assistance of some team members, but herself has painted and revitalized 5 of our can sheds. She's built partnerships and she's representing our brand the way that it deserves to be represented, without shortcuts, without compromise. So Danielle, I could go on, but thank you so much. And today is another example of sustainably taking care of what we need to do here. So thoughtful, this goes out to Mike Cooker, but I see Dennis and I see Y-Site out there and everybody that our team members that come around to make panel days so special. But what you may not know is Mike Cooker is the heart and soul behind our panel build experience. And Mike Cooker was recommended for this by Jeff Friedemeyer. This year we had 5 panel builds. They take most of our staff out of the office and off the job site for an entire day. It demands a lot of our crew leads. They're long, they're hot days, they're on asphalt. And it's really important that we come into these experiences well prepared and dialed in so that we can execute impeccably, not just for the safety and security of our staff and our volunteers, but also for our partnerships that we have with local corporations that are spending a lot of money to have this experience to bring their team closer to our mission. And that doesn't happened by accident. You know, recently we were in Louisville for the Indiana, Kentucky convention for Habitat, and Jeff had time to spend with other construction professionals from around the region. And what he discovered, amongst other things, is our panel builds are truly unique and special. Even the way in which we do them is far and above of what anybody else is doing, and it's a direct reflection of Mike Cooker being thoughtful. So, Mike Cooker, thank you. Collaborative, our unique multipliers, Cheyenne and Rob, you were nominated by Nathan. And recently, you guys stepped up in a big way to lead a large group of volunteers from Sky Point Social Services for the United Way Day of Caring. And that almost didn't happen. As you know, we had some transition and that volunteer coordinator capacity, and you guys went above and beyond, not only to make sure that Sky Point had an amazing experience, but it was exceptionally productive that day. I understand that you guys did so much work. And so thank you for stepping up and representing us well and making sure that volunteer experience was not only memorable, but impactful for our organization as well. Thank you. All right, transformational, right? We dream big and we strive for continuous improvement here. We've got two nominees. So the first is Aaron Belcher, nominated by Mara. And so Mara just goes on to say that Aaron's been a game changer for her thoughtfulness and her transformational impact on the Restore. She's taken her role seriously and continues to want to grow and learn more. She's able to jump in and respond to situations as they arise with ease. Because of her attention to detail on residential donations, I'm able to focus on and grow more business partners. It's exciting to grow this department together. So, Aaron, thank you so much for being such an awesome member of our team. And it truly is transformational when you get the right people in the right seats and you elevate them to their unique capabilities. We all win. We can step more fully into the things that we should focus on. So I think that's a great example. And last but not least, Andrea Colley, she's been transformational for the development team. They've been running hard for about 2 years and has made an immediate impact in relieving not only some of the day-to-day burdens and pressures of our team so that they can elevate to their unique capabilities, but she's been transformational in our CRM, our customer records management system transition, and also exemplifying and elevating our sustainability cycles so that we can be more intentional in all of our touches with our donors so they feel appropriately appreciated, well engaged, and ready for the next invitation to make a larger impact on our organization. So thank you, Andrea. All right. Our strategic plan, as a reminder, by June 30th, 2024, we want to sustainably build 20 homes a year. We are on track. We are going to hit that mark next year. Jeff and his team and the development team and the Restore and everybody's working together to make this dream come true. We've come a long way in a short amount of time, but this next year offers us an additional opportunity to refine our processes and get ready to scale for whatever is next after this 5-year strategic planning cycle. We want to continue to be great stewards, so we're going to strive to be debt-free as an organization and continue that debt-free position and ensure our cash flow position is positive, so we always have the liquidity we need organizationally to execute well. And so what does it look like for this next quarter of our fiscal year? So first and foremost, we are seeking approval from our board of directors to give us more tools in our toolbox to help finance deserving homeowners locally. So we may have a new mortgage product coming online here soon. And so we want to get that done before the end of this next quarter. The development team has a lofty goal. We need to bring in about $500,000 by December 31st to stay on track for just over that $2.5 million mark. Our lease agreement is up for our corporate offices. We've been there since 2012. It's a 10-year lease agreement. It encompasses both the warehousing side for construction, but also development team, homeowner services, and our construction office areas. So we need to take a look at that and make sure we're well positioned to continue to have the type of office space that's going to be conducive for the good work that you guys are doing. So Jeremy's going to take a look at that and see what needs to be done. The leadership team needs be 100% approved on the scorecard and our accountability chart as part of our EOS tools. This is just another evolution to make sure we're focusing on the right things. Our conversations are guided by the right issues and that we're solving them once and for all to move through the next ceiling, the next barrier organizationally. We need to identify all of our core processes and document at least 2 of these. This is going to be a multi-month thing that we're doing, but we need to establish our habitat way of business, and that is documenting the 20% of the work that gets 80% of the results, and making sure that it's accessible for our staff and it's easy to read and utilize. So anybody could pick up a pamphlet and step in for Haley if they need to run the golf outing, right? Or to put on a special event. So that's what we're working towards, to well define some of these processes. And this is really exciting. I know Dennis and Mike and a few other of you maybe have worked on a 2-story house, but since 2019, we haven't built any 2-story homes. And Jeff is working on a plan for a 2-story product that will fit in nicely with our Southeast neighborhoods. We got a long way to go to get that vetted, but first step is to get something on paper and open up some conversations with the city of Fort Wayne. So these are our quarterly rocks. You're going to have your one-on-one quarterlies with your one up. And if you find a way to help feed into, support, and drive these rocks in your own small way, I would invite you to set your own rocks that coincide nicely to keep us on track for our annual goals. Want to welcome Raleigh, Ava, and Vertus front and center here. Thank you for choosing to be a part of our team. If there's ever anything that I can do personally to help, let me know. You've got amazing leadership that loves and supports you and wants to make sure that this is a great employment opportunity for you, but something that's sustainable and lasting. So we want you to be around for the long haul. Let us know how we can continue to support that. And then open seats, the Restore. We still want to strive for that full staffing here at the Restore. So we have a sales associate position open. If you know of anybody, send them to Nathan, send them to Mara, send them to Jeremy, whoever needs to meet them. With that, I'll turn it over to Haley.
Good morning, everyone. So some development updates. We have a new CRM coming. So we are using Bloomerang, and the development team is working on getting that training out about how to utilize, how we're switching from eTapestry over to Bloomerang. So sometime in November, those trainings will start to take place. We are also switching a new volunteer database. So we're moving from Volunteer Hub to Get Connected and Galaxy Digital. It's the same, but they go by 2 different names sometimes. It can be kind of confusing. I don't know why. We have started playing around with it, and we're really excited about what it's going to offer. Because of that transition, our Volunteer Hub database expires November 3rd. So we have not opened up any November opportunities in Volunteer Hub. Those will come open within the next week in Galaxy Digital. I have a couple of trainings set up with a couple of people, so I'm just waiting to set those other groups. So we're really excited about the new updates that are coming. Our first quarter fundraising goal was $290,483, and right now we're currently at $340,308. So just working hard on that end. Some updates on our events that we had. So Women Build, this was our first year doing Women Build Wednesdays. So instead of doing a 6-week campaign, we split it out throughout the entire season. Our goal was to raise $25,000, and we brought in $33,000 just with Women Build. So looking into next year, we're going to do same Women Build Wednesdays and 1 Saturday a month, but to mimic our construction regular volunteer day, we're going to do full day experiences for 7 volunteers now. So it does increase from $250 for a team to the $350. But after doing a ton of research and the feedback, we found that the full day experience for more volunteers is what more companies would like. Our golf outing, we brought in $54,000, so brought in over $14,000 from our goal. We have 13 teams pledged for 2023 already. So that date is September 7th, and we're back at Autumn Ridge. That should say 2023, not 2022. Sorry. And then we have Restore Your Passion. So we're deep into Restore Your Passion planning. Excuse me. We have 3 goddess contractors already confirmed for this year who are all really excited about this. We have increased our goal to 200,000. I'm very sure we're going to hit that, if not bypass it. So more details will start coming out about Restore Your Passion. We're going to be working with Mar and the Restore and pulling pieces here soon. So you may see an influx of Goddess contractor shoppers trying to repurpose their piece. Some volunteer updates on the build site. So these were ran from July 13th through October 1st. So we had 186 women build volunteers that gave 633 hours. 502 regular volunteers for 1,486 hours. For our crew leads, we have 19 individuals that just over those 3 months gave over 1,200 hours of their time. Just absolutely incredible. You guys really keep us going. Thank you for that. We had 26 partner families, individuals that were registered over these past 3 months give 618 hours. And then 37 of the lunches were donated with 0 cancellations due to weather or anything like that, which is really great to know. And then we had 4 panel builds during this time, which is why that regular volunteer number is so high. And then from the Restore volunteer perspective, for the fiscal year 23 Q1, we had 470 volunteers for 1,400 hours. After talking with Nathan, we've decided to do the reporting the same way as we do construction. So previously it used to be just unique individuals, and we're doing each instance. So if they've signed up for morning, afternoon, and evening, that counts as one person for each shift. So they get counted 3 times. And then some highlights that we had IU Health Group and then the SkyPoint volunteers. They processed together over $10,000 worth of materials, which just keeps us going. I will be working more with Nathan on scheduling volunteer groups here at the Restore. We're kind of on a pause right now due to staffing and management and breaks. So you probably won't see a lot of large groups coming out anytime soon, but after the new year, we'll probably get back to scheduling those groups. Thank you.
Just have a couple marketing updates. We have had 2 homes staged and photographed. One was yesterday. We photographed the Triumph floor plan. Victory is up on the website, so you can see those if you haven't already. There's a couple on the screen here. We'll be doing Bower and Mount Vernon floor plans here later in the season. Can sheds. My family is tired of hearing about the can sheds. My son, my oldest, had fall break last week, and I said, we're painting a can shed. So it's a family affair. We've repairs are complete. We've painted 5. We still got a few wood ones, hoping we'll see. It snowed yesterday, so I don't know how much more painting we can do. We've got new sheds. Snyder has never had a shed before. And the students there, especially in the I believe it's the their honor roll society. They have to get volunteer hours. So they're trying to collect cans from the cafeteria and bring them out to the shed that's in their parking lot now and using that and trying to grow that program. So hopefully here this school year, we'll see a growth in that shed. And then Aboit Lutheran, had a storm, that shed blew over. So we have a new one there as well, which is a really high producing location. So good to have one there again. New signage is going up this week on all vinyl and wood sheds, because right now a lot of sheds just don't have signage. It'll have our website on there, our logo, and obviously it'll have the Every Can Counts messaging, which is the new messaging. And then we built a new shed at Fort Wayne Metals panel build. That might be a new thing that we start to do at panel builds is as the program grows or as these sheds, we need to remove them and replace them as they get old. So we'll have a new one in the wings right now. And then lastly, we are updating the sign here at the Restore, and we're adding open to the public. As you can see, this is just a mock-up, so that's ordered, and it'll be installed soon.
Okay, a couple quick updates from Restore. So this last quarter, our sales, of course, were in decline. Like a lot of retailers here, dealing with economic factors, we didn't see the sales we were forecasting. So we had set a pretty ambitious goal of about $585,000, and we fell short of that. However, in the way we budgeted, we somehow, through economy, through conservation, we were able to still deliver our contribution to the mission as budgeted. So huge success for us to continue holding that high, even in this market as we're dealing with declining sales. Now, as we look forward into this next quarter, our donations are still very strong. We have not seen a decline at all in incoming donations. Right now, our reserve donations to be processed, we have 155 pallets between the restore here and the warehouse downtown. That's 85% of our storage still with unprocessed inventory. So I ran the numbers on that this morning. That's over $265,000 worth of material that we have yet to realize. So we've got a good reserve to get us through, even if we do start to see donations declining. Now, as we're looking ahead, couple key things here. For a while, we've been talking about the volunteer coordinator role and what that is like at the restore, and developing that on-site person to be the lead for the volunteer experience. We're working with Jessica to create a new job description for that role as a volunteer lead. It's going to be that person that helps check in the volunteers when they arrive on site, provide them some orientation, and work with them as they go through doing their hours here at the store. Additionally, with yesterday's news about Joe's opportunity, we're going to have a vacancy in the processing seat. So we'll be working on redefining what that role looks like as well in this next quarter. The other thing we're going to be keeping an eye on is changes in buying habits. So with the recession concerns, we're paying an active eye to our customers and what they're saying and what their feedback is. We're managing our inventory to find that correct spot in the market to realize the revenue that we need to support the mission, but also to ensure that our customer base still shops with us. I had opportunity this past quarter to visit 4 other large thrift stores here in Fort Wayne, and our concerns and issues are not alone. It's something that we're seeing market wide. And fortunately for us, we've got a lot of proven processes down as far as how we manage our inventory, as far as what we do to process it. We're already there. But of course, we're going to continue to improve our processes. The processing center is the heart of the restore. It's the ability to move product through. And as we are approaching this next quarter and with so much inventory, we have to find new and innovative methods to process items through quicker and reduce the amount of handling that goes into it. So we're going to be exploring what it's like to optimize the processing center, both in the way we receive our merchandise, but the way we also load our merchandise for customer pickup. So those are the things that we'll be working on going ahead into this next quarter. So I'll turn it over to Mara now with updates from development.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here with us today. As always, these are always a good time to get together and share our thoughts on what we've been up to. What I've been doing is leading, maybe. No, I'm almost there. Okay. So we talked about earlier in core value nominations, due to Aaron's being able to step up and take care of so many residential donations, scheduling those trucks the way they need to be scheduled, working with the drivers, logistics, all of those things, that has freed me up to do more partnerships with other Habitat affiliates that we already do, and then expand on that. So previously, we have partnered with Maumee Valley, Ohio, Lima, Ohio, Kosciuszko County, Elkhart County, Greater Indy, and the list kind of goes on and on for the ones that we've already partnered with. So some of the newer ones that we have are Metro Louisville, we have Greater Memphis, Grant County, and Madison County. And so one of the questions that is one of my favorites that I get asked is why? Why are we worried about what other affiliates are doing? Why do restores get together? And why do they want to work together? So a couple answers to those questions. Donated product trades. We know that different markets have large companies that they want to offload a bunch of this stuff. And it's a lot of times more than one affiliate can handle, or more than 2 or 3 affiliates can handle. And then we share large business donor connections. So that means we've already done this with Indy. So that if they have a hotel that's going out of business, or they're revamping things that's too much product, they'll send us and we can go take care of that partner. And so that hotel or that conglomerate knows that they can reach out to us as well, even though we're a little further away. Purchase product in bulk, and that in addition shares freight costs. So what we can do is work with like vendors. We can purchase more of the product that we need to, like paint and things like that, and we can split freight costs. So all of that keeps our overall costs down. Liquidation works in that way as well. And then there are regional marketing opportunities where you partner up, and each affiliate can put in a very small monetary amount and get a very big impact across the state, or even in a tri-state area. So those are some of the things that we're working on right now. And I'll kick it over to Lauren.
All right, good morning. So we have a lot of really amazing things happening in homeowner services. At the moment, we have 45 total partner families. We had a partner family close on their home yesterday, and we will have another one closing today. So very exciting. So we do still have one family from our March 2021 cohort. Her house will be finished up here pretty soon. We still have 7 from the July 2021 cohort, 1 from May 2022, and then we still have our 36 new families who were oriented on July 11th. So we have had 3 homes closed since our last meeting, and there will be 3 more after today. All right, so right now, we have 42 of our partner families on track for 91% of families who are cruising through their hours. They're doing an amazing job. Right now, we do have 4 families who are off track, but we are trying to get them back into the fold. Sometimes life happens and we need to take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a pause, but that won't stop us. We'll try to get them through. That is up from 75% last quarter. So some changes within the department. Right now, we currently have our Huntington County application open. That opened up on October 3rd, and we're accepting those applications through October 28th. We do have 2 families that we're hoping to have oriented for next build season. And God willing, we have 2 more for the build season after that to make sure that everybody's ready to go when the homes are ready. And we're hoping to have our orientation in January so we can get the ball rolling as quickly as possible, because the build season starts in April. No pressure, no stress, it's fine. But yes, so 5 partner families closing on their homes by the end of October. We do have 1 partner family here with us today who's going to be closing on her home later on this morning, actually at 10 o'clock. So we'll be hearing from Alicia here pretty soon. And then what's next is that our Allen County application will be reopening mid-January. This is different than what we typically do, which is we reopen the application in about April. We are going to go for a multi-application per year type of process to see if we can have a steady flow of ready families when the homes are ready. Excuse me. And then KDOG is working on a post-purchase program so we can keep our homeowners involved in the ministry in some way, shape, or form. We know that having some sort of mentorship program for our incoming partner families is a good way to ensure that they stay engaged in the process and that they feel connected in a deeper way. So I will turn it over to Jeff. Thank you.
All right. I'd have to say we've had an amazing quarter here in the construction side. As you can see, there are a lot of different phases that we are in right now. As Lauren had mentioned about homes, the house is completed, and that number is a little bit higher carrying over for some of the houses that we are finishing up from last year. But we have 5 houses in finish right now, which is paint, trim, flooring, cabinets, and cleaning. That's what we pull in a lot of help there. 2 houses in drywall, and 2 houses that are currently in the mechanical trade portion. And 2 of those houses are our partnership with Fort Wayne Community Schools Trades Department. So they are helping us along with those houses right now. And 3 houses are in framing, and gratefully that the snow fell so quickly, but we are still going to be plugging away outdoors as long as we can, and as long as I can get my guys to thaw out their fingers. And then 4 houses we still have to get in the ground. So those are 2 for Vincent Village, and 1 on Cherokee and Hazelwood. So kind of our non-traditional side of towns, but still in the heart of the city. And those will be going in by the probably first part of November. And then, as we had mentioned, we had 5 panel builds completed this season, and we had a lot of fun out there. So kudos to the whole team for pulling that together. And then the future for the construction department, this number is greatly short. This obtained 40 lots. That actually is upward to almost double that, which we partnered with the city of Fort Wayne. So that means consistency over the next several years to sustain that 20 home model. So we are in a great position as more and more developers are developing lots. We can still focus on the city southeast side of town. And that just actually, as you can see, that second picture in is kind of our battle map, as we call it, showing all the locations that we have around that Renaissance Point in various areas to bring a lot of our partner families. This makes it the logistics easier for our construction department to work side by side across the alley, and to be able to work on multiple houses at the same time. And then we also mentioned 3 lots in Huntington, and 2 lots once again next year for 2 houses for Fort Wayne Community Schools Trades. And then there's either 1 to 2 houses that we will once again be blessed with an opportunity to partner with area builders such as Lancia or another builder. And then once again, we are going to continue our partnership with Vincent Village to provide homes for them as they need as well. And we have a lofty goal to get started with next build season by the end of the year. So as long as the ground stays thawed out, snow does not produce a hindrance to us. We hope to have 4 of those slabs already in the ground so that once April comes around, we'll be working on houses 5, 6, 7, and 8 as we are framing the first 4. So we'll see how that goes, and we will keep moving along, and we'll probably hopefully have a great update for you next quarter. But I'm putting us out on the fence for that one. And let's see here. So here's some pictures. As I would direct you, as Lauren said, or Danielle said, to the website to see our staged houses. You can see a house that's empty, but once you see a house of picture, or it's staged with the furniture coming from the restore, it sets our houses apart. You could basically compare our houses to any other area home builder in Fort Wayne and see them staged. They look beautiful. So those are the 3 that are in the process of closing. And so appreciate the development team and Danielle and the restore for providing awesome furniture for our houses. So there's other houses that you possibly have heard, possibly been around on for volunteer opportunities. And you can just have a look at their different stages. And we are having fun out there, and thank you to the crew leads and all the volunteers that have been out here to make this construction season a success. And without further ado, we got some time for any questions, and that won't be for, okay. All right. So, and I'm not the one answering those questions. Maybe
Hey, thanks, Jeff. And thanks to the entire team for preparing so well for today so that we can really articulate where we're at, what we've done, and help celebrate it, but then also vision cast for where we're going and how we need to work together to get such lofty goals accomplished. So are there any immediate questions? All right. I want to invite Alicia up here. Only her friend calls her Lisa, or her friends and family call her Lisa. So I feel like I'm counted among that, but I want to officially introduce you. Lisa is one of our partner families, and we're connected specifically. I'll talk more about that a little bit later on today, but she's been a huge blessing to my mom. And it's an honor today to be handing you the keys to your home. So if you could just share a little bit about your journey and appreciation.
Thank you. Well, good morning. I'll just tell you how I got here, which it is because of your mom. We went to a GED class together and it was a divine setup. From the first time we met, we just clicked. And she started sharing me about habitat. And I said, no. And she was like, yeah, my son took it over it. He's a good guy. Just go ahead and try it. So I stepped out on faith and did it. So now I'm here. So I have to thank her for that. And for God saying, go ahead and do it. What's it going to hurt you? They only can give you two answers, yes or no. And God said yes. So this has been an opportunity, a good journey to be on. It's really a faith-built process. And I did like the being out on the site that we always pray first, which did set up the atmosphere. And I can't believe I'm here. But I just want to thank everybody that was involved in it, and it's really appreciated. And trust me, I'm happy.
Yeah, so anybody that can make it out today to the job site to help us celebrate with Lisa, it'd be a great opportunity. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up. If there are no additional questions, Jeremy and I will be around if you want to ask us anything offline. And thank you for being here.